Hi guys, I'm back up here with another collective message for the collective. Remember, all messages are not for all, they're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest, as well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me. We can get you set up. Come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below. Love to hear from you guys. It's going to start the discussion. As well as it's going to share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collectors so we all can get on one accord, okay? So we'll not be on screen today. Just going to speak to you guys. Long time no see, right? All right, so the collective channel message that came up has to do with just being in the silence, really, and just kind of going with the flow, right? This is that type of energy. If you got a to-do list right now, if you got things you got to do right now, and it seems like it keeps falling through, you know? So that being said, you've been on your grind for like, I don't know when, right? You've been doing what you need to do. You've been being obedient with God. You've been lining up with God. Whatever God tells you to do. You're very proactive, right? In these moments in time right now, God is having us rest right now. God wants us to sit down right now. God wants us to really tune into Him right now, okay? There's moments when God wants you to be active in the world, and then there's moments when God needs you to fall back, pull back, get out of the world, get into the fourth, fifth dimension, get into Zion, right? This is that type of energy, right? Because, for example, if I can give an example for how this relates to myself, I haven't been very active on my social medias when it comes to these readings and things like that, right? God's been having me really sit with Him, right? This is that type of energy in these moments in time, really engulf in the spirit, right? Because you got to understand, when you are being active in the world, when you're doing active things in the world, right? This is that type of energy here where you're in the world doing things for God, and then you cannot forget about the journey that you have with you, between you and God. Because you got to understand, man, everybody takes like a spiritual path out of context. Really, a spiritual path, despite if you're religious or not, they're both lined up the same. If you think about it, it's the relationship with God that you have with God. It's between you and God and the relationship that you're building, the bond that you're building. That's what it's about. It ain't about the rituals. It ain't about the practices you do. It ain't about all that. It's about the relationship that you and God have and how you guys are elevating it, right? This is that type of energy, how much you're in the spirit with God, because all the rest of the tools, you don't even need the rest of the tools if you can connect with God on that personal level. You can go to God personally, right? This is that type of energy here. When God tells you need to fall back, just fall back, be with it in my space. Return to the park bench, right? I'm waiting at the park bench. I need you to sit down, right? Then you sit down, right? It's time to have a conversation with God. There's a book actually called, it's a wonderful book. It's a series. I recommend it, Conversations with God, right? And it's like a man who is asking every question under the sun on why certain things are in the world, talking to God, right? So God and him are having this dialogue, right? That just happened to come up. It really does have to do with the reading, but you know, it just came up. But that's kind of like that, right? When there's moments that you have to just sit down and really be in tune with God instead of being so in the world, right? There's moments where you have to sit down and put a pause, put a pin in your to-do list, right? Because when you're steadily on your to-do list routine, especially when it comes to God, it starts to become unnatural. It starts to become artificial. It starts to become not authentic, right? Right. There's moments when God needs you to tap out of that. Come sit with me. Right? This is that type of energy right now. So that being said, let's say that you're trying to get your, I don't know, a business started. You've been grinding hard. And the shit seems like it's not going through. It's not panning out. It's not doing what it needs to do. As much as you are putting in the wands, the sweat, the energy to put into it, sometimes you need to just step back. This might be that step back moment. Let God handle it moment. God may need to talk to you to give you the right approach to go about your business, right? So trying to get that right approach is to connect with God. And to connect with God might require you to step away from your business for a second. Right? Right. So to wrap this message up, it has to do with when God needs you to sit, when God needs you to be, when God needs you to tap into me. God is going to put everything else on hold. Okay? All right. I think I'm going to leave it there. Remember, all messages are not for all. They're for some. Take what you need and leave the rest, as well as we got that slot open for personal readings. If you feel guided or interested in purchasing one of those, you know what to do. DM me. We can get you set up. Come fuck with your girl, okay? As well as drop a comment down below. Let it hear from you guys and start the discussion. As well as it's going to share these vids, man. Let's get this divine knowledge out here for the collectors so we all can get on one accord, okay? I want you guys to have a good day. Stay up and bye-bye.